Winter 1943 wrapped Stalingrad in frost, smoke, and silence. Snow drifted over shattered buildings and unmarked graves, as if mourning the lives the war had swallowed. Lieutenant Mikhail Ivanovich crouched inside a ruined pharmacy, fingers stiff from cold, his rifle beside him. The war had taken almost everything from him, his youth, his hope, and maybe even the woman he loved. Natalia Vasilyev had once been his warmest dream. They met in a quiet bookshop, where she stood tracing the pages of poetry. She had said she loved words because they kept people alive long after their bodies were gone. He had teased her, asked which words would keep her alive. "One's worth writing down," she said. And so he wrote, letters filled with hope, memories, and the world they wished for beyond the war. She wrote back with strength, endurance, and longing. Then the letter stopped. Now clutching her last message, creased, smudged, and read 100 times, he knew he had to find her. He crossed the deadly streets of Stalingrad with the desperation of a man who had nothing left to fear. At the ruined bakery, he found only an old man who whispered the truth. She had been taken to the hospital, the one the Germans overran. Mikhail ran. Inside the collapsed hospital, cold air carried the scent of death. And there, beneath an oversized coat and layers of dust, he saw her. Natalia's pale eyes opened slowly, disbelief and love shimmering faintly. "I came back," he whispered, holding her fragile face. "I knew you would," she breathed. But her warmth was fading. Blood stained her coat. He begged to carry her away, to save her, to escape. But she shook her head. "I wrote one last letter," she whispered. "Promise me you'll live, leave this city when it's over. And promise me you'll write." His voice trembled. "I swear it." Her fingers slipped from his hand and her eyes closed forever. When the war finally ended, Mikhail walked away from Stalingrad with only her memory and her final wish. And he wrote pages and pages of love, loss, war, and the promises people cling to when everything else is burning. Years later, in a quiet bookshop far from the ruins, he placed her last letter on a shelf. "One's worth writing down," she had said, and he had kept his promise.